The intro is made up of 5 different things, and the first one is played on the floor tom, so that's going to be 1 eander, 2 eander. So that's basically 8 hits on the floor tom, which goes like. Then the next part is on the cymbal, and the bass drum is played on every time you hit the cymbal, and that's in 8th notes. And that goes 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, so that's. Then the next part is played as the snare, high tom, floor tom, so that is going to be played as triplet beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, then high tom, then 2 low toms, so. Then the next part is basically the same, but it's just 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 1, 2, so. Then it's finished off with cymbals, 7 cymbals this time, and 8th one is held or rolled, so. I think it's rolled for 2 bars as well, so together that's going to be. The verse starts with a cymbal crash on beat 1, and the bass drum is played on every single beat, so. The snare is on 2 and 4, so. Hi-hat is played in between on the and, so. The verse basically is made up of 2 phrases that alternate. So the first one, open hi-hat, is on the and of 2 and the and of 4, so that sounds like. Then the second phrase is and the open hi-hat is on the and of 2, and of 3, and the and of 4, so. There's also a fill on 4 eander, so. And every time, apart from the first time, this second phrase is repeated before the fill, so that will sound like. So the whole verse together will be. And then up to tempo it will be. The chorus is originally played with triplets, but I didn't have enough time to learn that, so I played 16th notes. And I think it's easy with 16th notes as well, so that will be 1 eander, 2 eander, 3 eander, 4 eander, so. Bass drum on every beat again, so. Snare on 2 and 4. Then the first part of the chorus is going to be open hi-hat on the and of 4, so that will sound like. And then up to speed it will be. The chorus changes about 3/4 of the way through to the alternating hi-hat pattern we see in the verse. So the first phrase is going to be on the and of 2 and the and of 4, the open hi-hat, while playing the 16ths, which will sound like. And the second phrase will be done on the and of 2, and of 3, and the and of 4, so. So then all together it will be. And then up to tempo it will be. The second verse is exactly the same as the first verse, except from halfway through it changes to 16th notes, and the open hi-hat is played on the and of 4, which will sound like. And then when it transitions into the chorus again, it has the 3 open hi-hat pattern, which is on the and of 2, and of 3, and of 4. So that's. Next is the instrumental section, which is made up of 2 phrases. The first one is the same as the beginning of the chorus, so 16th notes and open hi-hat on the and of 4. The second phrase is snare on 2 plus the and of 3, cymbal on 4 whilst playing 16th notes, so that will be. And if I play both of the phrases together, it's going to be. And then up to tempo it will be. After that you've got sort of a transition into the bridge, so it's 16th notes, bass is doing the same thing, snare on 2 and 4, open hi-hat is on the and of 4, and of 1, and of 2 and of 3, so that will sound like. Oh, and there's a snare on 40 and a. The second chorus is the same as the third quarter of the last chorus, so that will be for the first phrase, open hi-hat on the and of 2 and the and of 4. Second phrase is open hi-hat on the and of 2, and of 3 and the and of 4. So that will be. After that it's the bridge, which is just basically open hi-hat on the and, so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Then it goes into a fill, which is, I believe, on beat 3, and it goes 2 hits on the snare, 2 hits on the high tom, 2 hits on the floor tom, then back into the beat, and then on the snare it will be 40 and a. So the first part of that will be. And then the second part will be, once we've done that and then gone back into the beat, it will be. Fills and cymbal normally start and end sections, which is what happens here, and it's played as the second chorus or the end of the first chorus, so 16th notes, the 2 alternative open hi-hat phrases, playing the ones on and of 2, and of 4, and the second phrase would be and of 2, and of 3, and of 4. Then it goes into the verse pattern. The verse pattern plays the whole way throughout the end, except when there's little fills in between them. And the first 2 fills are on the snare, so 40 and a, and then every time you play a fill, hit the cymbal, go back into the beat. So that's the first 2. The third fill is 4 on the snare, 4 on the high tom, so 3 and a, 40 and a, so that would be. And then the fourth fill would be 4 on the snare, 2 on the high tom, 2 on the floor tom, so 3 and a, 40 and a, so. And the last fill I'm not entirely sure how to explain, but it's just sort of fast on the snare and the high tom, and then cymbal, so. course undone. Hopefully you found this helpful, but if not, then there is more tutorials, probably more better tutorials online, which will be under the original, so Blondie's Heart of Glass instead of Miley Cyrus's one, which will probably explain it a lot better if this wasn't very helpful. Cool.